Okay. Hello everyone. I'm the moderator of Group 2, and my name is Hu Yuxia. Now our group will focus on the report Zero Hunger, Tackling the Global Food Crisis Through the Sustainable Action. This presentation was jointly completed by 5 members. Chen Yibing analyzed the correlation between conflict and hunger. Peng Zuyu is responsible for the threat of climate change to food production. Sun Haoran explores the governance challenges of hidden hunger. Feng Weilin proposed the innovation and policy solutions for the green system. And I will responsible for the connection and the introduction of the overall framework. According to the 2023 report of the FAO, the number of hungry people worldwide was surged to 735 million, a sharp increase of 122 million compared with 2019. What is more serious is that nearly 30% of world's population is in a state of moderate to high food insecurity. Food issues are closely related to everyone and are a matter that everyone should pay attention to. Next, I will introduce the connection, significance, and the core challenges of SDG 2. The connection of the goal, Sustainable Development Goal 2, Zero Hunger is committed to achieving by 2030. First, eliminating hunger and ensuring that all people have access to safe, nutritious, and adequate food throughout the year. Number two, eliminate all forms of malnutrition. Number three, achieve a sustainable transformation of the agricultural system and enhance the productivity and risk resistance capacity of small-scale farmers. Its significance lies in the fact that food security is a fundamental prerequisite of the sustainable development, such as health, education, and poverty reduction, and is directly related to the realization of the 12 Sustainable Development Goals. Its core challenge is that geopolitical conflicts continue to disrupt the food supply chain. Climate disasters lead to reduced agricultural production, such as the decline in crop yields caused by extreme weather. Structural inequalities in the food system, such as food waste and other issues. This report, based on the United Nations SDG 2, dissects the global food crisis through 4 dimensions. Number 1, conflict and hunger. Explains how war turns hunger into a weapon. Number 2, climate change and production relations. Assessing the threat of extreme weather to agriculture and the application of climate intelligence technologies. Number 3, governments of hidden hunger, exploring micronutrition deficiencies and the nutrition crisis faced by 2 billion people. And number 4, system innovation and policy leverage. Study the mutual assistance between science and technology and policies. Finally, I will briefly explain the contribution of the selected text to the topic. The first part will quote a research report from 2024. Posted the history and the international illegal principles to reveal the historical factor of the weaponization of hunger. The second part grades the test and the IPCC report to qualitative prove the relationship between climate and production with empirical data. The third part cites the research in the Lancet, revealing that malnutrition caused by hidden hunger has irreversible damage to cognitive ability. The first part exposed the technology policy collaborative framework by analyzing the Food Waste Reduction Act of the United States and the Anti-Food Waste Act for France. That's all for me. Thank you. Next, please let Chen Yibing to specifically discuss the conflict and hunger.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Chen Yibin. My student number is 8207625. My central argument is that hunger can be deliberately used as a weapon of war, and that wars and political conflicts has a profound and often devastating impact on food security. Not only do armed conflicts directly damage agricultural infrastructure and disrupt production and supply chains, they also strategically manipulate hunger to weaken the enemy. Tactics such as blockades, registration on humanity aid, and the international directions of food reserve are used to force population or adversaries into submission. Historically, these practices have been common in warfare and constitute serious violation of international humanitarian law, further deepening the suffering of civilians. In article by Rodriguez Alvarez, 2024, The Weaponization of Hunger, an analysis of food security in conflict and post-conflict scenarios, offers a comprehensive and well-documented explanation of this phenomenon. The author provides a clear definition of the weaponization of hunger, describing it as a harrowing aspect of warfare, in which victory was often achieved at the expense of innocent lives, succumbing to starvation. Through a wide range of historical and contemporary examples, from ancient Mesopotamia sieges to modern conflicts in Gaza and Ukraine, the article illustrates how hunger has been systematically used as a tool of war. Several major case studies are examined in detail. The Holodomor in Soviet Union, 1932 to 1933, is described as one of the most egregious cases of hunger being weaponized in modern history. Similarly, during the Biafra War, a deliberate blockade by Nigerians forces was used to cut off food supplies and cause famine, highlighting hunger as a material tactic. The Khmer Rouge regime in Cambodia, 1975 to 1979, also imposed devastating land policies that led to widespread starvation. While ongoing conflicts such as the Ukraine crisis and the Gaza blockade continue to disrupt the international food supply chains and international direct population of essential resources. The article notes, for example, that the international disruptions of food supplies services as a devastating reminders of the enduring impact of hunger used as a tool of modern conflict. In addition to modern examples, the article traces the origins of this practical back to ancient times. The use of hunger during the Roman siege of Jerusalem in 17 CE and even earlier in Mesopotamia city states around 2500 BCE are cited as some of the earliest examples of this tactic. This article provides valuable insights into the relationship between conflict and hunger, demonstrating that the weaponization of hunger is not just a humanitarian issue, but also a legal and moral one. With so much concrete data and case studies, this text can help to understand the complex relationship between conflict and hunger, make us understand the importance of food security in complex zones, and make us realize the urgency of pushing the international community to take measures to prevent the use of hunger as a tool of war. Okay, that's all.
Okay, thank you, Chen Yinbing. And then please let Peng Zuyu to tell us the climate change and the production relations.
Hi everyone, my name is Peng Zuyu. My student number is A207620. Let's talk about critical change, how climate change harms farming, and how that leads up to hunger. The reality to start, but so are the solution. One, the climate crisis is starving our fields. First, drying up our farms. As the earth warms, many regions get less rain, and soil moisture vanishes. Crop wither and die, especially in humid air and where yield had dropped by 30%. That's 30% less food for families who already struggle to eat. Foods are deadly, streaming green fields, destroy soil and spread pests. The WMO says global foods have increased by 20%, worsening away not just creeping but entire environmental food slabs. Warmer temperatures also fulfills the outbreaks. Bugs froze faster, surviving winters easier, and drawing crops. This doesn't just mean lower yields, it means poor quality food and making hunger worse. Two, hunger the human cost. Why does it matter? Because behind every statistic in person, when droughts hit Kenya, families cannot growing enough arms and beans. The food destroys rice field in South Asia. Children get to bed hunger. The UN warns that climate change could push 100 billion more people into hunger by 2030. That's a stimulus full of people every night wonder where the next meal will come from. Three, climate smart farm feeding the future, but still help in climate smart agriculture. Let's see how it's fight hunger. One, covering farming saves water and growing more food. In Kenya, farmers using drop irrigation cut water used by 30% and grow the 20 more crops. This 20 more easy to feed families during droughts. Two resistant crops are lifelines. Scientists bring droughts, relevant wet and fruit. Resistant rice. In India, drought poor rice probably helped farmers grow 15% more food during a dry spell, enough to feed 10 billion people. Three, eco-farming builds stable food systems. Intercropping, like planting beans with maize, boosting structure and yield. In Thailand, this method increased food safely for 2,100 people. The evidence from fields to forks. The UN's IPCC report linked climate destroys directly to hunger, but Kenya farmers prove that smarter farming works. Less water, more food, and no empty plants. When we invest in this solution, we are not just fighting climate change, we are saving lives. In the conclusion, hunger isn't invisible. We are supposedly that fund climate smart farming. We are choose food growing sustainably, and we can demand that world leaders probably feed people over fields. Every drop of water saved in a field, every resilient crop planted is a step toward a world where no one goes hunger. Let's make that world real. Thank you. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Peng Zuyu. And now let Sun Haoran to tell something about the governance of hidden hunger.
Thank you, Hu Yuxiang. I'm Sun Haoran, and my metric number is A206742. Hidden hunger happens when people eat enough food, but the food doesn't have enough important nutrients like iron, zinc, or vitamin A. These nutrients help our bodies grow strong and stay healthy. Without them, children may grow too slowly, get sick more often, and find it hard to learn in school. Hidden hunger is not easy to see, but it can pose big problems, especially for young children in poor countries. A study by Black and others in 2013 says that more than 2 billion people in the world do not get enough for these nutrients. The study also says that poor nutrition in the first 2 years of life can hurt a children's body and brain forever. In 2011, about 165 million children under 5 were too short for their age because they did not get the right food. This is called stunting, and it can cause problems for the rest of their lives. This study is helpful for my topic because it gives clear facts that how hidden hunger affects children. It shows why problem is serious and why we need to help. The numbers and ideas in the article help support that. I want to say that we must care not only about having enough food, but also about having the right kind of food. In particular, the article highlights how the lack of key micronutrients during early childhood can lead to long-term physical and mental problems. When children do not get enough vitamins and minerals like iron and vitamin A, uh, their immune system become weaker and they get sick more easily. Being sick too often make it hard for them to go to school, and missing school affect how well they learn and grow. This can limit their future jobs changes and continue the cycle of poverty when they grow. Also, hidden hunger is not just a problem in poor countries. Even in richer countries, many children eat cheap, processed food that doesn't have enough nutrients. So this is a global issue. Slowing it is not just about giving people food, it's also about teaching families how to choose healthy foods, making sure schools offer good meals, and creating policies that make nutritious food more available and more affordable. The study helped us understand that hidden hunger is a public health problem and it needs urgent attention. It hurts children, families, and the future of whole communities. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sun Haoran, and let Feng Weilin to show the system innovation and policy leverage.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Feng Weilin and my metric number is A207794. For my part, I will introduce how to achieve zero hunger from the perspective of food system innovation and policy solutions. In my opinion, the two main causes of hunger are food shortage and food waste. So my view is that by applying cutting-edge technologies for innovation and formulation reasonable and effective policies to automate the food system, we can achieve the goal of zero hunger. First, in terms of food shortage, some reasons are poor to influence of the natural environment, which leads to poor copy used. Low-yield food can cause hunger. So with the advancement of science and technology and the innovation of agricultural production, science and technology can improve crops to reduce the impact of the natural environment. In the article, Food System Innovation and Digital Technologies to Foster Productivity Growth and Rural Transformation, it mainly discusses that the innovation of food system and the application of digital technology are important driving factors for productivity growth and strengthening food security. This article not only emphasized the positive significance of agricultural biological innovation for increasing food production and addressing food shortages, but also points out that innovation application of digital technology in the agriculture field can achieve a more efficient food system. For example, network synthesis, artificial intelligence, and digital consulting service and other equipment. This article serves as strong evidence to support the view that cutting-edge innovation technologies are important measures to achieve zero hunger. Also, this article points out that genetic improvement efforts in 10 major maize production countries in Africa increased use from 1.4 tons per ha in 1995 to 1.7 tons per ha in 1915, and the average annual increased of 1.0%. Modern agricultural technologies encompass multiple aspects such as precision agriculture, biological control, and water resources management, which together constitute a sustainable and efficient agricultural production system. By applying this advancement technology to agricultural production, it's possible to prevent and control pests and disease, improve the utilization rate and water resources, thereby increasing crop use and reducing the impact of food shortage on life. Secondly, from the perspective of food waste, it's meaningful to formulate and implement policies to reduce food waste. According to the report published by United Nations Environment Programme, approximately 921 million tons of food are wasted globally every year. This huge waste is not only a great waste of natural resources, but also a weakening of the sustainable development capacity of human society. All countries around the world are actively adapting relevant policies to solve this problem. For instance, the Food Waste Reduction Act, proposed by the United States, aims to reduce food waste causes by employer consumption by consumer by providing financial support for farm-level food recycling programs. The proposal of this positive policy can not only improve the utilization rate of food, but also promote sustainable development. So, to summarize, through the continuous progress and innovation application of science and technology, as well as political actions and policy intervention, we have every reason to believe that achieving zero hunger in the future will no longer be an unattainable dream. Okay, that's all from my perspective of food system innovation and policy solutions.
Okay, thank you, Feng Weiling. Thank you, everyone. And that's all for our report. Thank you for your listening.